Good morning, students. Today we would like to discuss about a topic which is known as effect of nuclear spin on the rotational Raman spectrum. Before that, we have not ever never tell about this thing because how the nuclear spin interacts with the when the molecule rotates in the particularly Raman spectrum. Okay, so there are certain molecules like oxygen, carbon dioxide. When they are rotate, then it is observed that certain lines will not appear at all, and the intensity of the different lines both in the Stokes and the anti-Stokes sides means different line means I would like to say 0 to 2 transition, or 1 to 3 transition, or 2 to 4 transition in the Stokes sides, or 2 to 0 transition, or 3 to 1 transition, or 4 to 2 transition. This type of transition in the anti-Stokes sides, whether they will appear at all or not, and if they appear, then what should be the intensity of these different lines. That is guided by the nuclear spin effect. Means when we just rotate the molecule, as for example oxygen molecule, when rotate, then the two oxygen atoms interchange each other every alternate 180-degree rotation. That means when they rotate, they just interchange their position, and because of this rotation, and the individual oxygen atoms have a nuclear spin effect, and that nuclear spin also interact with this rotation of these molecules and decide whether the lines will appear or not, and if they appear, what should be the intensity of the different lines. So in pure rotational Raman spectra of a homonuclear diatomic molecules, the Stokes and the anti-Stokes lines appear both sides of the Rayleigh lines from 6p semi-inverse. The first line, both the Stokes sides and anti-Stokes line, the first line appear at 6p semi-inverse. Okay, and the distance between the two successive Stokes or anti-Stokes lines is 4b semi-inverse, because we know that the successive lines both in the Stokes sides and the anti-Stokes sides, they are separated from each other by 4b semi-inverse distance. Now the main interesting topic is there are certain molecules like oxygen, carbon dioxide, etc. It is observed that the alternate lines are missing in the rotational Raman spectrum of this molecule because of the nuclear spin effect. So this is the twist. Okay, so nuclear spin of the rotating molecules can also alter the intensity of the Raman lines. So in the successive discussion, we will clear about this thing, how the nuclear spin affects the intensity of the Raman lines, and decide whether they will appear, and what should be the intensity. So nuclear spin is generally governed by the nuclear spin quantum number I, and here I have written that don't be confused with the moment of inertia, because we also designate the moment of inertia by the letter I. Okay, so there are few examples of the different values of I for different molecules. I equal to generally observed for this type of molecules where the atomic number and the mass number both are even. Means as for example oxygen 816, carbon 612, etc. So both atomic numbers and mass numbers are even for these molecules. And I equal to simple integer values 1, 2, 3, etc. This will be found for the molecules where the mass number is even but the atomic number is odd generally. That means for heavy hydrogen, or we can say it's a deuterium, so its atomic number is 1, that is atomic number is odd and mass number is even. Similarly for nitrogen, N atomic number is 7 and mass number is 14. So for this type of nuclei, the nuclear spin quantum number I is integral value 1, 2, 3, etc. And there are and this type of molecules are generally called is boson, both I equal to 0 and I equal to 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the for those particles or molecules or atoms where the nuclear spin number appears as 0, 1, 2, 3, this type of molecules are generally called as boson particles, because these particles follow the Bose-Einstein statistics. And there are certain particles where the nuclear spin quantum number is found as half, 3 by 2, etc. Means half integral multiple values, and these type of molecules generally fall in this category. And there are and the characteristic feature is where the mass number and the atomic number both are odd. As for example simple hydrogen, mass number is 1, atomic number is 1. the isotopes of the nitrogen. In mass number is odd, and mass number is odd 15, and the atomic number is also odd. And the fluorine mass number is odd and the atomic number is also odd. Okay, so these type of molecules. So the particles for which mass numbers are even, the value of I equal to 0, 1, etc. They are generally called bosons, because I have already discussed they follow the Bose-Einstein statistics. Okay, and whereas there are particles for which mass number is odd, the value of I, mass number is odd means this type of molecules. The value of I appears as either half or 3 by 2 or 5 by 2, this type of, means half integral multiples. So these particles are called fermions. So according to the Pauli's principle, because we know that when a molecule rotates, then definitely they exchange position every alternate, for homonuclear diatomic molecule, every alternate 180-degree rotation, they exchange their position. That means, and in quantum mechanics, we know that to represent any state of a molecule or the characteristics of a molecule by a wave function, that means for these molecules, when they are rotating, they have some characteristics wave function, that is psi. And when a molecule rotates, then definitely we have to consider both its space and its spin also, because they have the intrinsic spin quantum number. That means I'd like to say that when the molecule rotates, then during rotation, if the particles fall in this category boson, then different type of symmetry properties will appear, and if the particles is fermions, then also different type of symmetry properties will appear. So we have to keep in mind these things. So according to the Pauli's principle, any acceptable wave function must be anti-symmetric with respect to the exchange of the two identical fermions. Means two identical fermions means, I would like to say, hydrogen molecules. When hydrogen molecule rotate, then what happen? Individual hydrogen atoms are fermion particles. So when they are rotate, initially suppose this is hydrogen 1, this is hydrogen 2. When they rotate 180 degree, after 180 degree, H2 hydrogen 2 comes here and hydrogen 1 comes here. That means they exchange their position. So the new wave function, that if I tell at psi total prime, that should be a negative of the psi total. Before the rotation, whatever the wave function was, it just the negative sign, means it becomes anti-symmetric. Otherwise the symmetry properties will not followed. So that the Pauli's principle. So again, I'd like to say, according to the Pauli's principle, any acceptable wave function must be anti-symmetric with respect to the exchange of the two identical fermions and totally symmetric with respect to the exchange of two identical boson. That means if the molecule consists of boson particles, when they rotate, then after rotation the wave function, that is psi total, should be symmetric. And if the molecule consists of fermion particles, then after rotation the wave function that is obtained should be a negative of the initial condition. This is the statement. Now the wave function that we are discussing here is the total wave function of the molecule containing both the space function and the spin function, because psi total consists of psi space and psi spin, and generally we denoted psi spin by the letter beta. So psi space into beta, and beta s is the spin. Okay, so for boson particles, total wave function is symmetric, that is psi total should be symmetric upon rotation, and this can be achieved in two ways. If both psi space and psi spin, means psi s and beta s, are symmetric, then symmetric and multiplied by asymmetric gives you a symmetric. Just like minus plus plus, if we multiply, then we got the plus signs. And or both psi space and spin are anti-symmetric. That means psi total can achieve symmetric in the two ways: psi space and the spin space. If they are both symmetric, then also symmetric. If psi space is anti-symmetric and the spin also anti-symmetric, then also you will get symmetric. So in both the condition, the boson particle can achieve through this way. So for fermion, psi total is anti-symmetric. We know that the psi total is anti-symmetric, and this can be achieved either the psi space is symmetric but the spin is anti-symmetric, or vice versa, means psi space is anti-symmetric and the spin is symmetric. So these are the things we have to keep in mind when the particles are either bosons or fermions. We have to just follow these rules. For now the space part of the wave function, now our concept of the molecular term symbol comes to play, because the space part, mean the size space whatever we have is guided by the molecular term symbol. Okay, so how? Suppose the molecular term symbol is designated as sigma in suffix g plus sign. Okay, that means g defines here the even j values. If the g appears in your molecular term symbol, which denotes the even j values. Even j value means when the transition is 0 to 2 or 2 to 4, this type of transitions. Okay, and the plus sign, okay, where g is first I discuss about the plus and minus, and then we'll discuss in the successive. And u defines the odd j values. So when you're in your molecular term symbol the letter u will appear, that means the odd j values, means the transition that are corresponding to odd j values, means 1 to 3, 3 to 5, this type of transition, these are denoted by the u. Okay, and the look at this thing, in this particular notation g with the plus sign will appear. So what does it mean? G with plus sign defines the even j value is symmetric, means the even j value transition means the transition that are consisting from the even j values 0 to 2, 2 to 4, this type of transitions are symmetric, and j should be even. And the u with a minus sign means the second molecular term symbol defines the odd j value is antisymmetric, means the odd j value means the transition that consists of the odd j 1 to 3, 3 to 5, this type of transition, and that should be antisymmetric. And the third category are also possible, which we have just mentioned here. Look, if the molecular term symbol appears as g with a minus sign, which defines that the even j value is antisymmetric, that are also possible. Okay, so now this is the space part rules, and then I would like to discuss about the spin function. The spin function that we generally denoted by the letter beta. If the spin quantum number of an atom is I, then the total possible states, I can say, is 2i plus 1. Just like your total momentum, total angular momentum quantum number, if you have a particular state j, then the possible number of ways in which this j can arrange in space is 2j plus 1. Just like here, if your nuclear spin quantum number or nuclear spin number is I, and you have the possible number of ways in which I can arrange is just 2i plus 1, or you can say the total possible state is 2i plus 1. Just mind it as a remember it as a rule. Okay, and for diatomic molecule, total possible state becomes square term, because for one atom you have 2i plus 1 number of possible states, and if you have the two atoms in the diatomic molecule, there is two atoms, so this quantity should be in square, so 2i plus 1 square. Now for spin function to be symmetric, what should be the value? So beta symmetric can appear if 2i plus 1 the possibilities multiplied by I plus 1, because whatever the value of I is whether it is a odd value or even value, means I would like to say if I equal to 2, okay, then there are no problem. If I equal to 1, then you have to add 1. That means whatever the value of I is, if it is a boson particle, then beta s equal to 2i plus 1 multiplied by I plus 1 for symmetric combination, means for beta should be symmetric, you have to find the 2i plus 1 multiplied by I plus 1 quantity. And for antisymmetric, you can say beta antisymmetric can appear if 2i plus 1 multiplied by only I. So these are the rules, thumb rules you can say. So for symmetric 2i plus 1 multiplied by I plus 1, and for antisymmetric 2i plus 1 multiplied by I. Now the intensity of the various line appeared is determined by the ratio of beta s by beta a. Means the different line means I would like to say the transition, because during transition the different lines that appears, how they appears in the spectrum, and what should be their intensity, whether they will appear or not, that is guided by the ratio of the beta S by beta A. Basically, these are the ratio of the nuclear weight factor, that is NS by NA, and nuclear weight factor is directly proportional to the spin weight factor, means beta S and beta A. So we generally discuss in this way. Now the intensity of the various line appeared is determined by the ratio of beta S by beta A. So beta S by beta A equal to, we just completed this topic. So beta S means 2i plus 1 multiplied by I plus 1, and beta A is 2i plus 1 multiplied by I. So these two terms cancel each other. So the remaining term is I plus 1 by I. So these are the main fundamental things that will decide the intensity of the lines. Now after that we will take an example, otherwise it will be very difficult for us to understand these things. Take the example of oxygen molecules. We know that oxygen molecules, it contains its nucleus. Sorry. So we know that for oxygen molecules, both the atomic number and mass numbers are even. So I should be a 0. Okay, so if I equal to 0, then we can say that it's a boson particles. And oxygen molecule is linear. So the molecular term symbol is 3 sigma G minus. That is not discussed here in details because you have already discussed with a separate session for that in the previous classes. Okay, so if the I equal to 0 and oxygen molecule is boson, that means the psi total should be symmetric, and this can be achieved either psi space is symmetric multiplied by psi spin is also symmetric, and if psi space is antisymmetric and the spin is also antisymmetric. So let's have a look. So these are the molecular term symbol 3 summation sigma G minus. So G means even J. We have already discussed that if your molecular term symbol G sign will appear, that indicates that the even J, and the even J value is antisymmetric because the negative sign appears here. Okay, if it's a positive sign, then we can say it's symmetric, but negative sign indicates that it's antisymmetric. That means your space part is antisymmetric. So even J antisymmetric means your space part is antisymmetric. And definitely if even J is antisymmetric, then the conversely odd J will appear as a symmetric. So odd J wave function of the space function should be symmetric. Now for psi A, its spin function should be beta A, because we know that as oxygen molecule is a boson particles, and if your space part appear as psi A for even J, then definitely this corresponds to a antisymmetric spin function. Otherwise this function should not be, psi total should not be a symmetric function. So if for psi A, its spin function should be beta A, so that psi total is symmetric. That means beta A equal to, we have the formula 2i plus 1 multiplied by I, and putting the value of I equal to 0, so 2 into 0 plus 1 into 0 equal to 0, because we know that whatever value is multiplied by 0 is becomes 0. So the intensity So the intensity ratio of the line, that is beta S by beta A, equal to I plus 1 by I equal to 0 plus 1 by 0. And don't think that it's it comes to be infinity, because we are discussing about the intensity ratio. So if 0 appears, don't judge like algebra type functions. Okay, so 1 by 0 equal to infinity. Just keep it as 0. So 1 plus 0 by 0 means 1 by 0. And now you have to think about, for even J space function is for even J, from this formula, for even J space function appear as psi is antisymmetric, and we know that antisymmetric wave function correspond to a antisymmetric spin function. That means the beta A corresponds to the for even J space function is antisymmetric, and for antisymmetric spin function is beta A. So beta A corresponds to the even J values. That means the 0 is for even J. So let me just adjust these things. So beta S by beta A equal to 1 by 0, and we just in the previous page we observed that beta A corresponds to the even J. So the 0 of the 0 correspond to the even J, and the 1 correspond to the odd J. That means the even J line have intensity 0. That means they will not appear at all. So let's see, this is the Rayleigh lines. I have just shown here the Stokes side intensities. The first line, that is 0 to 2 transition, they will not appear in your spectrum. Okay, so mind it, keep in mind, for oxygen molecules, the first Stokes lines that will appear 0 to two transition that will not appear here. That was I shown in the dotted lines. The first line that is observed in the spectrum is the 2 to 4 transition, and that will appear at 6b plus 4b, means 10b distance total. Okay, and the second line also means the even, means 2 to 4. Sorry, I just mentioned here. This is for 0 to 2 transition, that will not appear. So 1 to 3 transition will appear, and then 2 to 4 again it will disappear from your spectrum because of this even J have zero intensity. Okay, then the 2 to 4 transition will appear again. No, sorry, this is 2 to 4. Then 3 to 5 transition will appear. So in this way, only the odd J the transition that is correspond from the odd J values, that will appear in your spectrum, and the even J values lines are disappears, means that will not even appear in your spectrum. So the first observed line in the oxygen molecule in the stroke sites appears at 10b distance, and the second line appears here from the 10b distance. Another you have to go 8b distance, because we know that these are the individual lines will appear in the normal case 4b. So this one line is appear here, so 4b plus 4b 8b. So first line appears at 10b, and the second line appears at 10b plus 8b, means 18b distance. Okay, now the second example that we would like to discuss is the deuterium molecules, means just like hydrogen, if the mass number is 2, then we say that this is the deuterium molecules. And just like H2 molecules, D2 is another stable molecules. So for D2 we know that the mass number is even and the atomic number is odd, so its nuclear spin number appear as 1. And we know that as the nuclear spin number is integral multiple, is also a boson particle, and for boson particle your psi total should be symmetric. So for symmetric psi total, we know that this condition can be achieved either space part is symmetric and the spin part also symmetric, or space part is antisymmetric and multiplied by the spin part which is also antisymmetric. In that case also psi total should be symmetric. And the molecular term symbol for deuterium deuterium molecule appears at 1 sigma G plus. Okay, so beta is so sigma G plus means it's a even J is symmetric. Okay, so beta is the intensity of beta is appears at 2i plus 1 multiplied by I plus 1, and if we put the value of I equal to 1, so that becomes 2 into 1 plus 1 means 3 multiplied by 1 plus 1 2 is 6. So directly come to the point that the intensity ratio which is guided by beta S by beta A equal to I plus 1 by I, and putting the value of I equal to 1, it becomes 2 by 1. That means, and now I'd like to see that the beta S, which corresponds to the symmetric G correspond to even J, and even J is symmetric. That means if space part is symmetric, then its corresponding nuclear spin is symmetric. That means symmetric spin appear from even J. So even J will appear here and odd J will appear here. So this is the ratio of even J by odd J, and this is 2:1. That means the intensity from the even J will twice the intensity of the lines than the odd J lines. Just have a look, this is the Rayleigh line. Okay, so the first line, that is 0 to 2 transition, it is twice the length, and next the 1 to 3 transition, that is half the length. That is if this is 1, then the intensity of this line is 2. Again the even line 2 to 4 transition, this is twice the length, and then 3 to 5 transition, it is half the length. That in this way your line will appear, means the even J lines will appear twice the intensity, and the odd J lines will appear as half the intensity of these even lines. Okay, now the third example that we would like to discuss is the carbon dioxide molecules, and we know that carbon dioxide molecule is linear, and its symmetrical stretching modes are Raman active. And how this molecule, we generally discuss about that homonuclear diatomic molecules when they rotate, then the nuclear spin affects. So these are very comparable to the homonuclear diatomic molecules, because when you pass a axis through the carbon atom, then the rotation just appears that the oxygen molecule is rotating. Okay, it's very comparable to oxygen molecules, but there is certain difference also, but it's just for simplicity I am looking that it's just like oxygen molecules. And how can you guide the nuclear how can you decide the molecular term symbol for CO2? It's very easy. Just count the number of carbon atoms, total number of electrons in carbon atoms and the total number of electrons in oxygen atom, and add them, and this will decide the molecular term symbol for carbon dioxide. So carbon atom has 6 electrons, oxygen atom has 8 electrons, total 14 electrons. So if you place the 14 electrons, so that term symbols will give you the molecular term symbol, and which appears at 1 sigma g plus. So for carbon and oxygen, both have I equal to 0 because carbon has 612, so both are even mass number and atomic number, and oxygen also same. So both of them, because of this condition, I equal to 0, and we know that I equal to 0 indicates that it's the boson type particles, and for boson type particles we know that the psi total is symmetric. So this can be achieved if psi s multiplied by beta s or psi a multiplied by beta a. So from this molecular term symbol, it shows that the even j is symmetric, so psi s speeds pass is symmetric, and the odd j definitely antisymmetric, and the intensity of the psi s is appears at 2i plus 1 multiplied by I plus 1, putting the value of I equal to 0. So this is 0 plus 1, and 0 plus 1 is 1. And the intensity of the transition lines of the different transitions, we know that beta s by beta a ratio. So beta s by beta a equal to I plus 1 by I, and the value of, if you put the value of I equal to 0, it becomes 1 by 0, and the beta s corresponds to the psi s. So psi s is the even j. Okay, so that means beta s corresponds to the even j by odd j. So the ratio of the even j by odd j is 1:0. So odd lines will disappear from your spectrum. Here is the spectrum. This is the Rayleigh lines. So the first line appears in the spectrum because 0 to 2 transition in the Stokes sides. So this will appear at 6b distance. And the next transition is 1 to 3. That means odd. And these have intensity 0. That means this will not appear in your spectrum. So this is dotted line, means this will not appear. And the third lines, that means basically 2 to 4 transition, even lines, so they will appear. So the first line appears at 6b distance, and the second line, that is basically experimentally find in the spectrum, is at 8b distance, because 4b plus 4b means 8b distance. So these are the observation for carbon dioxide, oxygen, hydrogen molecules. We can also discuss with some other molecules if we need, we can do that, but for this purpose this is fine. And now we'd like to compare the fact or characteristics between oxygen and carbon dioxide, because they are very comparable. If you just assume that carbon dioxide is basically oxygen type molecules where a carbon atom is inserted in between. So the interesting fact between oxygen and carbon dioxide Raman lines is, in case of oxygen molecules, the first Stokes lines appears at 10b distance, 10b semi-inverse, and the second Stokes lines appears at 8b, means from 10b another you have to reach 8b distance. And for carbon dioxide, the first Stokes lines appears at 6b distance, which is just here, 6b distance, and the second Stokes lines appears at from 6b another 8b. Okay, so these things are very interesting, and lot of numerical problems are based on this type of values. So these are interesting fact for this. And in case of so till now we have discussed about only boson type particles. So it's now time for a discussion about the fermion type particles. So hydrogen molecules, so you know that hydrogen atom is fermions because it has mass number and atomic number both are odd. So I equal to half for fermions. So for fermions, we know that the psi total should be antisymmetric, and this can be achieved if psi space is symmetric, then definitely the spin part is antisymmetric, and if psi space is antisymmetric, then definitely psi spin should be symmetric. So in this way the antisymmetry can be achieved. And the molecular term symbol for hydrogen atom is 1 sigma g plus, and even g means even j value, and which is symmetric because of this plus sign. So which is symmetric means the space function should be symmetric. So if the space function is symmetric, then definitely to make the total wave function antisymmetric, its corresponding spin function should be antisymmetric. So the value of the antisymmetric spin function is 2i plus 1 multiplied by I, and if I put the value of I equal to half, then this appears 2 into half plus 1 means it becomes 2 into multiplied by half, so that is equal to 1. Now the intensity ratio of the lines is guided by beta s by beta a, I plus 1 by I, so putting the value of I equal to half, so half plus 1, 3 by 2, and by half means 3 is to 1. And we know that beta A appear from the even j. So beta A corresponds to the even j, and the odd j is corresponds to the symmetry function. So this is the odd j by even j ratio. It's 3 is to 1. That means the even j line is the odd j lines are thrice the intensity of the even j lines. Just have a look. This is your Rayleigh lines, and the even j means the 0 to 1 transition, which is if the length is like that, then the odd j means the 1 to 3 should be thrice its length. So I have not probably shown here properly. If the length is like that, then 3 it should go up to this distance. Okay, and then even j, which is look, no, I have written it properly. So the up to this distance is fine, means I can say only this much. Okay, so this distance is 1, means for even j 0 to 2 transition, and after the second transition 1 to 3, which is thrice its length, and then again to 2 to 4 this much length, and then 3 to 5 is thrice the length. So in this way, I have shown here only the Stokes sides. So in this way, the spectrum of the hydrogen molecule will appear. Okay, so these are the ultimate discussion about the effect of nuclear spin on the rotational Raman spectrum for homonuclear diatomics, and like same type of molecules, because carbon dioxide not a homonuclear diatomic molecules. Okay.